The internet has fundamentally reshaped our world, altering everything from how we work and play to how we live our daily lives. It offers a seemingly infinite space where, regardless of your interests or beliefs, you can find a community that thinks just as you do. This global network has connected humanity in ways previously unimaginable, creating a digital crossroads where anyone from anywhere on the planet can converge. The sheer volume of content is staggering, and most of it remains completely unseen by the average user. Whatever you might seek, be it a product, a service, or information, whether legal or illicit, moral or unethical, the internet provides. It's a tool that can be wielded for good or for ill, a choice that rests with the user. Much like the surface web we navigate every day, the dark web is also filled with websites, forums, and services. However, it exists beneath a thick veil of digital protection, a hidden layer where dark and clandestine activities are shielded from the outside world. This is the notorious haven for illegal online operations, and its depths are far greater than most people realize. It is a shadowy realm where criminals, predators, spies, and traffickers of drugs and humans operate with perceived impunity, all hidden in plain sight. You could gain access within minutes if you chose to, but the real question is whether you should. To understand this hidden world, we can divide the internet into three distinct layers. First is the surface web, which encompasses everything we use daily: YouTube, Twitter, and any social media platform. Finding content here is simple, as virtually everything is indexed and searchable by engines like Google. The scale of the surface web is immense. Every second, thousands of photos are posted to Instagram, thousands of tweets are sent, and tens of thousands of Google searches and YouTube videos are accessed. However, the surface web is just the tip of the iceberg. What you can't easily find are password-protected items, like personal bank accounts or private medical records. This is where we enter the deep web, which refers to all content on the internet that is not indexed by standard search engines. If you can't find it on Google, it's part of the deep web. In fact, anytime you log into your email, you are technically browsing the deep web. Contrary to its thrilling name, much of the deep web is as mundane as the surface web, just with an added layer of security. What is truly astounding is its size. The deep web constitutes a staggering 96% of all information on the internet. Buried even deeper, in a minuscule fraction of this digital universe, lies the dark web. This is a space where things are designed to never leave. Websites are heavily encrypted to conceal their existence, operating without traceable IP addresses to make them nearly impossible to identify. Users, in turn, access these sites with specialized software that completely masks their identity. In this domain, anything and everything is possible. But how can such a place exist? How can anyone hide on a global network accessible to billions? When you browse the surface web, it's a given that your activities can be tracked. Websites monitor your searches and clicks to serve you targeted advertisements, a practice common to giants like Facebook and Amazon. They sell your data to advertisers, a permission you grant when you agree to those lengthy terms and conditions you likely never read. This tracking isn't an accident. The internet was not built for anonymity. Interestingly, this lack of privacy was a concern for the United States government over 2 decades ago. They needed a secure system to protect their online communications from interception. In the mid-1990s, researchers at the U.S. Naval Research Laboratory developed a technology called onion routing. This method protects data by wrapping it in multiple layers of encryption. The innermost layer contains the original message, and as it travels through a series of network nodes or midpoints, each node peels back one layer of encryption. Each layer only reveals the previous location and the next destination, keeping the core message hidden until it reaches its final stop. This encryption technology is what allows darknets like Tor to exist. A darknet is a network that operates alongside the public internet but requires specific software for access. Tor, which stands for the Onion Router, is the most well-known of these. It functions like a normal web browser but grants access to web pages unavailable to the general public. The links to these pages look nothing like youtube.com. Instead, they are random strings of characters ending in .onion. Attempting to open these links in a standard browser will fail. Using Tor is the first step into the dark web. A common entry point is the Hidden Wiki, a directory listing hundreds of different hidden services. Here, you can find everything from fake US driver's licenses and passports to illegal weapons and a vast array of drugs. And this is merely scratching the surface. Marketplaces are incredibly popular, offering items you would struggle to acquire elsewhere, such as rocket launchers. Conducting transactions on the dark web with traditional payment methods like credit cards would be foolish, as they are easily traceable and would negate the core principle of anonymity. For this reason, virtual currency is king. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are pivotal to the operation of any anonymous marketplace. One of the first and most infamous of these was Silk Road, which opened in 2011. It became almost synonymous with the dark web, a place where one could purchase any illegal drug imaginable from sellers across the globe. The platform also sold guns, counterfeit cash, and other illicit goods. After just 2 years, the site was seized and shut down by the FBI in October 2013. In its short lifespan, Silk Road generated over 9.5 million Bitcoin in revenue. To put that in perspective, if those Bitcoins were sold at their peak price in 2017, the total revenue would amount to over $187 billion. The rise of Bitcoin is inextricably linked to markets like Silk Road. When the site was created, Bitcoin was valued at less than $1, but its decentralized nature made it the perfect currency for the dark web. The creator, Ross Ulbricht, was arrested in 2013 and sentenced to 2 life sentences plus 40 years without parole. Yet, despite the illicit activity, the dark web isn't as massive as many believe. Major services are frequently taken down by law enforcement, but where there is demand, supply inevitably follows. When one site is shut down, several others spring up to fill the void. After Silk Road's demise, Silk Road 2.0 appeared, followed by 3.0, and this cycle continues. Even if you never venture into the dark web, its existence affects you. Data breaches are now commonplace, and if your information was stored on a compromised server, there's a good chance it's for sale somewhere on the dark web. Social security numbers can be purchased for as little as $1. For a few dollars an hour, one can rent a botnet to launch a DDoS attack, capable of taking nearly any website temporarily offline. Stolen medical records and credit card details are also readily available. Worse still are the darker services. Multiple sites claim to offer hitman services, and while many are scams, not all of them are. There are also marketplaces for human organs, and, most disturbingly, a significant presence of child pornography. Despite this grim reality, the dark web is not purely a criminal underworld. In a striking twist, about half of the funding for the Tor project still comes from the US government. The technology also serves a vital purpose for good. In countries with heavy internet censorship, the dark web provides a haven for free speech. It allows journalists, activists, and ordinary citizens to report on important issues without fear of reprisal. Many major news networks operate dark web services to allow whistleblowers to come forward safely. In an age where we willingly put our entire lives online, the dark web offers a way for people to reclaim their privacy and anonymity. Whether they use this power for positive or negative ends is their choice. Ross Ulbricht believed he was providing a service with Silk Road, reducing the violence associated with street-level drug dealing. Yet, despite this seemingly non-violent philosophy, he himself attempted to use hitman services to have 6 people killed. Ultimately, the dark web is a reflection of the dual nature of technology. It doesn't have to be a terrible place. It is only as scary as the corners you choose to explore. You can't eliminate the darkness, but you can choose to avoid it. There are things the average person should never see, and if you wish to avoid becoming a victim, it is best to stay away. Whether it is as bad as its reputation suggests is debatable, but for those who are new to the concept, it is a world you are unprepared for, and once you're in, some things can never be unseen.